Trucks, 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 trucks. Is it just me or is that song stuck in your head too? I really don't know if I like it or I can't stand it. I'm kind of like in the middle. A lot of people like it. I I don't know. It is stuck in my head though. It's kind of catchy. I'll give it that. Either way though, we finally have a new diecast from the Trucks episode of Cars on the Road. The what was it, the fifth one? No, it was the sixth one, right? Because it was after Showtime. Such a weird episode. It just kind of came in the middle. It was like a musical. It's like, has Cars ever been a musical? No. I don't even think there's never really been one time other than that episode where any song in the Cars movies have really been like sung by characters, at least to my knowledge. I can't think of any. Usually they're just like Life's a Highway or King's Highway or Nobody's Fool, and they're just like playing, and it's usually by a popular country singer, but it's not actually the character singing. So just an odd episode all around, but either way, we finally have a new character from the episode as a diecast by Mattel. So welcome on back, guys, to the Cars Garage. Today, of course, I'm going to be reviewing Chris Frieghtman. I really do like this guy for many different reasons. There is so much lore that goes behind this guy for absolutely no good reason either. Like, he's just a random yellow tow truck that appears in, I would say, like the worst episode of Cars on the Road, which is just a Disney Plus TV series. Really, there should be no substance to this release. It should just be exactly what it looks like. But instead, it's just kind of like Adam Rodriguez, but maybe even more so, kind of just confusing because, this guy does appear in Cars 3. He was one of the Piston Cup tow trucks that we see in the background a few times, I think, throughout the movie. He's not like a main character or anything by that stretch of the imagination, but he is just a background character, much like Race Tow Truck Tom, or really not even much of, I don't know, like he really doesn't even get as much screen time as him, so I don't know. But either way, then we get him from Cars on the Road, and Mattel releases him like 2 years after the release of the show. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. We never got him as a diecast when he was from Cars 3, but now he's been in like a very short little dancing segment of the worst episode of just a Disney Plus TV series, and he gets released. It doesn't make any sense, especially when they could have easily did him as a deluxe a few years ago, and they still had deluxes and called him a Cars 3 release. But instead, here he is now in 2024, and it's just very strange. The whole thing is very, very strange, but he actually even got a whole like description too. So this is what makes it even more strange. He got his own little like biography, and we know his name, Herb Kerbler. So it's not the same one, clearly, but I mean, to look at him, he looks pretty much exactly the same as this diecast right here. But this one doesn't have all the decals and everything, all the Piston Cup race, fire, and rescue little stuff on him there, of course. But other than that, I mean, even the artwork looks pretty much the exact same. It's just more like kind of 3Dify now to match the show, of course. This is more like hand drawn. But I don't know. Here's its description. Racers never want to see a tow truck on the track until they need one, and they usually need one at their most vulnerable moment. But they can rest assured that Herb Gerber will take good care of them. Herb is always ready to zoom out onto the racetrack and help any race car in need of a tow. Yeah, Herb Gerber. Does that name ring a bell? Obviously, it's the same name as the four-wheel drive next gen. I just really don't get that. Why would they call him the same name? I don't. It doesn't make any sense. He's a whole little Dragum. It's just so random. Just a random background tow truck from Cars 3 somehow it just makes it over to Cars on the Road because, well, I know why. I guess it's because, Pixar just wanted to reuse models like they did many times. And with episodes like that, they felt the need, like, wasn't as strong to, like, make them look actually different. So they just kind of, like, removed the decals and called it a day. And with Adam, they didn't even remove the decals. So I don't get it. But either way, yeah, here he is, guys. That was a long intro, but I had to do it. I had to show you guys everything you need to know about Mr. Chris Frieghtman here. He is like a deluxe. The blister has obviously it's pretty high, so it's been raised up, and his artwork has been shrunk as a result of that, but still looks pretty good. New for 2024, of course. You can get him in case G. Yeah, I was kind of forgetting because I've had him for like 2 months now, and I've been waiting to open him because I was trying to get a second one, but I never found it. Same with Tony Motorfelt, so whatever. As seen in Cars in the Row, we got the Ghost Tractor, McQueen Deputy Hazard, President Mater, Cave Mater, Space Creature McQueen, and the Quadro Turcosar. So, the question we're going to be answering today is who's better, Chris Frieghtman or Tony Motorfeld? I think I already like Tony better, but you guys clearly like Tony and DJ better than Chris because they both won the poll and Chris came in third place, which is kind of hard to believe. But anyways, without any further ado, guys, I'll be right back with Chris Frieghtman all opened up. It's about dang time we got a new Trucks episode character as a diecast. I mean, even though I didn't love the episode, it was a bit too kind of like, I don't know, just kiddie for me. And the whole musical thing, it didn't really do it for me. But I really did like all the characters that we saw in it, even though a lot of them were kind of just reused trucks we've seen in past Cars movies and stuff. But there was quite a few, like even just like the clean, nice looking school bus that was kind of like Miss Fritter, but not a savage demolition derby queen diva. It was kind of cool to see. There's quite a few like just old pickup trucks too that I really like that I'd like to get as diecast. And even these guys, even though they're really from Cars 3 and they just kind of took them from there, they're still really cool. But I would have much preferred if Chris Frieghtman had all the decals that he has on him in Cars 3. I just think that would have been so cool, especially because it would be consistent with Adam Rodriguez, who actually has all the decals on him. So I don't really know why they like took them off of Chris but kept them on Adam. I really don't get that at all. It's not like you can really see either one's decals in the episode because I believe they both appear in a scene where you only really see like their face pretty much, like their head-on kind of view. So you really don't see their sides anyways. Who's to say if it's even accurate for Chris not to have the decals, Oh well, anyways, I'll show you where he appears at now in the episode. He's just one of those trucks, of course, that dances and sings along with all the other trucks at the gas station. Well, he's not really one at the gas station. He's just in the imaginary music video that Mater's dreaming up. So is he even real? I don't really think so. But I'll also show you where he appears at in Cars 3. He's just one of those background Piston Cup tow trucks, of course, doesn't speak or anything. But he is there, and I'm assuming he's one of the ones, it's hard to see, but I guess, yeah, he'd be one of the ones that towed McQueen out when he had his big crash, of course. So that's pretty cool. He's kind of actually quite a substantial character when you put it that way. He seems to be, more so than in the Trucks episode. That's for sure. Now, we already know his model. Of course, he is a Holotle Dragum. That's pretty cool. There's quite a few other Holotle models that Pixar has made over the years, which is pretty cool. Like, I think Holotle Hookem was one of them. Maybe that was Stu Scattershields. He is pretty similar to Stu. I gotta say, like, the whole, like, front end part, at least, Stu's just bigger. But he is kind of similar. He's, like, probably the F 450 maybe, and, like, Stu, or, Chris here is probably more so, like, the F250, I would guess, because he's not really a 150. He's pretty big. He's a pretty big truck still, but he's not that high off the ground, so maybe he would be more so like an F150. I don't know. But anyway, quite a lot of metal on him. Like the whole truck bed section is made of metal, which I was not expecting, so that's a very good thing, of course. He's actually pretty heavy. Of course, this whole like towing cable type of thing back here, this whole contraption is all plastic. Looks like even like the base of the truck bed is plastic, and the bumper, of course, in the back and in the front, and the grill as well. That's all plastic. So there's quite a few plastic pieces on them. But that's to be expected, all this, of course. Towing cables are always plastic. I don't think they've ever been made of metal from Mattel. But that's okay. As long as the truck bed is metal, I'm a happy camper. I think that's really cool. He also has a plastic eye plate too. So yeah, quite a lot of plastic, but also quite a lot of metal, which is cool. I think there's the right amount of both. Now, I really like his front end. It's very dirty, grimy looking, very like of the elements. The whole Piston Cup racetrack can get pretty dirty sometimes. Maybe some burn marks from McQueen's crash. Imagine that. That would be cool. Nice smile, though. He's still smiling. He likes the dirty work. A lot of trucks do, of course. It's a truck thing at the end of the day. It's a truck thing, guys. We don't understand because we're not trucks, but it's a truck thing. Only trucks know. But yeah, very cool grill for being plastic. I gotta say, it looks like metal. To be honest, it really does. The headlights are very well detailed too. I just reviewed DJ the other day. He's like right here off to the side, and I was complaining kind of about his headlights. They just don't look very detailed. It's just like gray paint. Like, come on, Mattel. But this guy, just some random truck that appears in one random, not very good episode of a Disney Plus TV show. They detail the headlights for more than one of like the main villains in the first Cars movie. That's kind of strange when you put it that way. But I mean, yeah, he's got some nice detail on the side too, some dirt and grime and everything. Gray painted wheel well in the back, not in the front though for some reason. He only has 4 wheels, so that's kind of strange. Usually tow trucks have the double tires in the back, so yeah, he's got only 4. So I guess he wouldn't be an F-250 then, if, he was a Ford, which I don't think he is. He's, well, definitely not. He's a Hall Drag him, as we already went over. But yeah, his rims look very good. Nice gray paint on them, and then some nice dirt detailing, which is really cool. He does have some spare tires in the back. They're very small. They look a bit underscaled, and obviously, I feel like they should be a bit wider too. But whatever, they still look pretty good. I like them. I love the whole towing contraption back here. It definitely reminds me of Tow and Owens, but I think even more detailed, which is nice. I love Tow and Owen. He's actually the World Grand Prix tow truck, which is cool. So now we have one for Cars 1, Cars 2, and Cars 3. Tow trucks from all the movies. That's really cool. I didn't think about that. Looks like he's got some kind of gas cap here, which is cool. Some little orange lights on both sides. Got this thing on this side too, so I don't know why he has 2 gas caps. That's kind of strange. I don't know what this thing is, but I'll just call it the grasper. It's like it must go underneath a car to just kind of like, I don't know, almost looks like a mud flap, but it's a cool material. It's like a kind of like a rubbery plastic. Pretty cool. I like this base too. Oh, it's gray. We'll take a look at that in a second. But yeah, I just love this whole like towing contraption back here. It's very well detailed. The whole base, like I said, is plastic, but you really can't tell. Like it's separated. You can see a little bit of a crack, but who cares really? There's no license plate on the back, so that's kind of strange, but whatever. Let it slide. I mean, he's clearly not supposed to have one. Some cars don't. I don't know why. Doesn't make sense, but some cars just don't. Some red and white caution tape on the back. And then, yeah, I really like these tires, but they just look kind of strange being so thin. But I guess they'd probably supposed to, like, I guess they're supposed to be for the racers, right? So I don't know. I guess they'd be thinner than his, but I feel like they shouldn't be this thin. I feel like they're a bit underscaled, but whatever. This whole towing contraption looks really nice. He's got his little light bar up here, of course. The orange translucency is really cool. You can see through it. And then another light up here, some little circular lights here. Just every light is really well detailed. They could have just dotted gray paint for them all, but they didn't. They actually detailed them really well. Every single one, even these little ones. Is this one orange? Yeah, look, this one's orange and this one's gray. That's weird. I wonder why. I don't know if it's even supposed to be like that. That's kind of strange, but yeah, he looks amazing. This is a really nice car. I kind of wish I would have just not even did a poll and just reviewed him first, even before Tony. I almost kind of like him better than Tony Motorfelt, who is the other new truck in the case. Case G, of course. Very cool, like light gray base. It's an odd color for a base, but it goes good with the yellow on his, like, all of his body. It looks kind of cool, actually. It just reminds me of a classic Tonka truck. So that's kind of cool. Where's the date stamp, though? T088. There it is. So the 8th week of 2024. So that's pretty cool. Not too long ago at all. That was like, well, I guess March 1st. That was a while ago now. But yeah, there's really not too much else that I have to compare him to. Just really, I guess, Adam, because he's also in the episode. And they really are the same model in the front end, at least. But like the sides, and I mean, the back is completely different, of course. Obviously. So this is all plastic on the back of Adam. So yeah, they really went the extra mile with this guy here, Chris Frieghtman. I like that a lot. Really, really cool. They did a great job. They really did. I mean, same model, but different, like so different. It's completely different just because like the whole like back ends are completely different. He's a tow truck. He's a like a mini fire truck kind of. So that's cool. I absolutely love this guy. Let's compare him to the, well, let's put him in order actually. Cars 1, Cars 2, Cars 3. Look how cool that is. We got Tow Truck Tom from the first movie. We got Tow and Owen from the second movie. And then Chris Frieghtman from the third movie. And also Cars on the Road, of course. But these two really are more similar, kind of, because they're Piston Cup ones. Well, actually, it's funny because these ones actually are more similar. He's more like an international one. I think it's just because he's more modern. Hey, look at this. Whoa. I didn't realize that. This like string thing here is plastic, but this is actually like a bendable rubber. Wow. That is cool. I'm just discovering all kinds of things with this guy. That is cool. It's like a rubbery material like this, but it feels even more like flimsy, like in a good way, because it's so thin. That's cool. Like a cool little rope here. And it's like you can feel texture on it too. That is really nice. Wow. They really outdid themselves with this guy. I gotta be honest, I think I do like him. I definitely like him better than Tony Motorfelt, and honestly, I didn't think I would at all. I really thought I'd like Tony better. Way better than Tow Truck Tom from the first movie. I gotta be honest. I'm sorry, Tom. Even though he doesn't have any decals, he would definitely benefit with some decals on him, some Piston Cup stuff. But whatever. It's not how he looks in Cars on the Road, so I understand why they did him this way. Let's not bang them all around now. Ryan, come on. But here is Toe and Owen. Really cool. Now he is like a what does that say? Iveco. Iveco. That's the model he is. That's pretty cool. But yeah, their towing contraptions are kind of similar, just because they're both newer tow trucks. Tow truck Tom is older, from 2006, or probably even older than that, to be honest. But I like his towing contraption way better. I just like him way better, even though I do love Tow and Owen. He's definitely cool. It's like a cool European tow truck. I still like this one better though. I do like the light bar better on him though. It's more like translucent. I like how you can see through it. But yeah, Chris Frieghtman is pretty awesome. I like him a lot. He's actually named off of the Cars 3 and Cars on the Road effects leader named Chris Foreman. So I like how they did the clarification there. And it's funny how the guy they named him off of worked on Cars 3 and Cars on the Road. And Chris Freightman appears in Cars 3 and Cars on the Road. So looks like they put a lot of effort into this release, not just with the naming of him, but also because of just all the details. I mean, everything on him looks amazing. Too bad he doesn't have the actual decals, but the details that they put on him all look amazing. So great job, Mattel. I absolutely love Chris Freightman a lot. And I gotta be honest, I like him a lot more than Tony Motorfelt. Not a lot more, but a little bit more, at least. They're both cool, though. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope that you did enjoy it, and I'll see you next time right here on the Cars Garage.